Hey guys, this is the crypto entrepreneur, and thanks for checking out my channel. If you can't tell, I'm a little sick, so if I sound like I'm speaking through a trash can right now, sorry. But anyways, the title of this video is how I made $75,000 over 3 months with cryptocurrency. And, we're going to go into a little bit on how that happened and, was it blind luck? Was it skill? What exactly happened with that? And hey, this is my first video on YouTube. I am a public speaker, so I'm not totally new to the realm of public speaking or anything like that, but this is my first kind of jaunt on YouTube, I guess you could say. So let's just jump into it. And, I can also tell you guys a little bit about what I'll be kind of posting in the future. So preface to the haters out there, because I know there's going to be a lot of haters on YouTube who are going to say, hey, crypto entrepreneur, you're just here to brag. Your title is just clickbait. Let me just kind of clear that stuff up, because first of all, I'm not here to brag. The main reason behind this channel is really to help those out who don't really understand kind of where we are right now in the world of cryptocurrency. The opportunity right now, I would liken it to the opportunity that there was during the dot-com bubble. And unfortunately, if you weren't in the know during that time, then there was really no way for you to profit off that. You had to be working for Yahoo or Netscape or one of the large companies back then. And what's cool about cryptocurrency is you don't have to be working for any of these companies. You just have to kind of pay attention and dip your feet in the water and see what's out there. And also, this video is not clickbait. I think the definition of clickbait is posting a video with something that you claim to be true and it actually isn't. Not really in the market of doing that. I'm probably not going to go into like my personal stuff and post proof that I made this much money off of cryptocurrency. But, you're just going to have to take it at face value and hopefully, just through the stories that I tell and through the knowledge that, I'm trying to spread, you'll realize that I really did end up profiting off of cryptocurrency, and you guys can too. It's out there for anyone. Okay. So sorry again, I'm sniffling over here, but who the hell am I? So I founded a tech startup in New York in 2015. I'm not going to go into exactly what my company does, but I still own the company. I have employees, and I've been in the tech world for over 10 years now. I've always had a lot of interest in not only technology but also the dark net markets. For those of you who don't really know what that is, there was a market called the Silk Road. I think it was back in 2013, I believe, maybe 2012, that existed for people out there to freely trade without any middlemen over the dark web. So, we'll probably talk a lot about that in later episodes, but I was super interested in the dark net and kind of the oil or the grease to these dark net markets were the cryptocurrencies, or as a lot of you probably know, Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has been kind of the juggernaut of cryptocurrencies since the beginning. That's starting to change a little bit, but it's still the largest cryptocurrency by total market cap, which if you don't know what that is, I guess first lesson here, total market cap is simply just the number of coins, or not the number of coins, but the total value of coins in circulation that people actually hold. So it's kind of like comparing the market cap of a large company like Amazon has a market cap in the billions, and that's because tons of people own their shares of stock, and market cap is basically how much the whole company is worth. In this case, market cap of cryptocurrency, that's basically how much the whole currency is worth. More on that later. And, what kind of underlies all this, which, I'm really interested in too, is the decentralized marketplaces. I'm not just here to make a buck. I'm not here to become a millionaire. I mean, that would be awesome. But I'd say my main passion lies behind the technology that allows someone who's never walked into a bank to go ahead and open up their own quote unquote bank account and manage their finances on their own without having to go through a personal banker at a bank, without having to pay fees. There's some really amazing things you can do with cryptocurrency. Bitcoin revenge. So I forgot to put this slide in here. And look, we'll get to how I profited through cryptocurrency in a minute, but I kind of do want to open up this because this is my first video, so you guys should know who the hell I am, why I'm doing this. And a little funny side story is back in the day when I want to say I was probably just about to enter college, and it was when Bitcoin first came out. Maybe I was still in college. I forget exactly what the situation was. But me being a dork, I used to play computer games, Counter-Strike. I was all into that stuff. I was like, oh, cool, Bitcoin. So it's this thing you can download and you can mine coins on your computer. Really cool. Let's get it. So I downloaded it, and I think I was using like my gateway, like 333 megahertz desktop computer, probably using like Windows XP, and I just started mining Bitcoin. I would leave my computer on all day and night, and back then mining Bitcoin was actually awesome because you could leave it on overnight and you come back and you'd have like 30 or 40 Bitcoins. And at the time, 30 or 40 Bitcoins is like a few cents, so it was no big deal. But I forget the exact amount I ended up with, but it didn't matter because either when I went away to college or I went back after the summer, my parents tossed away my computer. So all that Bitcoin I mined was gone. And at the time, I was pissed about the computer. I wasn't really pissed about the Bitcoin because I didn't even know if Bitcoin was going to be a thing. Like at the time, it was just like a term for hackers. Sorry, that's my phone. I'll silence it. It was a term for hackers, and the public didn't really know about it. So I was like, okay, who cares? Come to find out, probably like 4 or 5 years later, I saw Bitcoin hit like $200, and I was fuming. And ever since that time, I've kind of vowed to make up the difference, kind of some Bitcoin revenge, to make all that money back that I lost. And it's funny, I don't blame my parents because I understand they were trying to clear out space since we were moving. But man, I mean, that would have made life a little bit easier. Anywho, how I began. So I'd say I really seriously began looking into cryptocurrency investing in January 2017. I'm lucky enough to say that, I have extra capital sitting around in my checking account, savings account, 401k. I run a business, so I frequently have, invoices coming in, and my financial advisor was always on my back because I'd have cash in my bank account, and he'd say, I'm just gonna call myself Crypto for now. Hey, Crypto, like you've got $10,000 sitting in your checking account. You're just gonna leave that in cash and let inflation suck up all your money. And I look at him, with a sad face and say, no, I guess I'll put it into some stocks and I'll make, pennies on the dollar. I mean, there's some good stocks out there, but when comparing how much you can make investing in stocks to cryptocurrencies, it's a joke. I mean, literally, and this is the last time I'm going to say literally this whole video. I promise. Literally, you can make 100% on your money in one day with a cryptocurrency. Not saying you should, because that's usually a risky investment, but a good day investing in a stock is maybe making 2 or 3% on the day. Maybe a little bit more, but you're not going to see much more than that investing in stocks or bonds or anything like that. And there is a time and a place for that. I still have money in stocks and bonds. That's sort of like my long-term retirement money. But for my midterm investment money that I want to see a return on over the next 6 to 18 months, I decided that cryptocurrency was the way to go. So what I did was I joined Poloniex. For those of you who don't know, Poloniex is one of the more popular exchanges out there to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, other types of major cryptocurrencies, and it is the most popular. But I'm gonna make another video down the road as to why I wouldn't recommend going the Poloniex route anymore. A lot has happened, believe it or not, since January this year with Poloniex. But anywho, I deposited $2,000 with Poloniex, and my goal was to double my money by the end of the month. Now, for a lot of you out there, you might say that sounds really aggressive. If you're not familiar with cryptocurrency, it does sound aggressive, like an aggressive goal, but it isn't. And I'm going to tell you why, because these cryptocurrencies are volatile as all hell. And you can make a lot of money, you can lose a lot of money as well. So real quick before we get into, exactly how I went about buying the cryptocurrency and profiting and doing really well, an obvious question to ask yourself, and what I asked myself before doing this, was why cryptocurrency? There's so many other things to invest in, and basically it came down to this: crazy growth and adoption. We were just seeing, and we're still seeing, industry announcements, banks leveraging crypto. I'd see a different article every day about how JP Morgan or Bank of America or whoever is starting to use Ethereum or Bitcoin, and it became obvious to me that this wasn't just like an overnight fad. On top of that, not to go too much into it, but my job with my company, a lot of it consists of finding people jobs, building software development teams. And personally, I started seeing blockchain, aka cryptocurrency jobs being posted more and more every day, which, by the way, is a great investment strategy. I'm lucky that I'm sort of an insider within the tech community, where I see these jobs start popping up before a lot of other people do. So I saw blockchain jobs popping up in 2015, and they were scattered here and there. But then I'd say like the end of 2016 / like January, February 2017, I was seeing new blockchain jobs from new companies every day, and it was getting pretty nuts. So, out of that, we're super early, right, So this is kind of like getting in to Netscape when they were like in beta testing. They didn't even release their first version yet. That's kind of where cryptocurrency is right now. We're beta testing. These coins aren't perfect, obviously. They get hacked, not so much, but sometimes they get hacked. The software itself and the wallets definitely fail. So we're super early, which is great because that means that these things, you think that $2,000 for a Bitcoin might be a lot, but realistically, I mean, we could be looking at $100,000, $200,000 Bitcoin and up, 2 or 3 years from now. And I know that sounds completely nuts, but back in the day when Bitcoin was worth $1, and I told you that it could be worth $2,000 2 or 3 years from now, you probably would have laughed me out of the room. So, just relativity, just make sure that you understand that these things aren't crazy. They're happening right now. And then, another thing is beginning of this year, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, the major coins are becoming super easy to buy and sell. Like even my dad was into it. My dad started buying Ethereum, and that was another light bulb that hit me. I was like, shit. I mean, my dad is buying Ethereum. How many other dads are out there trying to buy or buying Ethereum or Bitcoin? And it really, makes you think that once these people realize how easy it is, we could see a vast influx of not only our parents and family, but big companies, hedge funds, anyone who either A, wants to make some side money, or B, is really interested in the idea of a decentralized market, which, is my next point. Actually, decentralized markets, if you guys don't quite understand them, that's okay. Just think of it this way: when you go and you trade stocks with your broker, whether you use E-Trade or you use a broker that you call old school, either way, you're going through a middleman. You're going through the bank, and a lot of times that bank might be going through another middleman, a broker dealer, and basically they have to settle the books at the end of the day, and you're paying a trading fee, and it's not totally transparent either, meaning that you can't necessarily see what the rest of the market is doing. They have these dark pools, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go into it, but the whole idea of a decentralized market would be a market where you can go trade. You don't have to trade through a middleman. There's no settling of an account. You just simply open up your web browser, trade a cryptocurrency, and you have a new cryptocurrency, or you sold it and you got US dollars in return. And the cool thing about it is it's going to be totally transparent. And I think that's what a lot of people miss out on when it comes to Bitcoin, is that the great thing about Bitcoin isn't not just Bitcoin, but all cryptocurrencies, isn't just the anonymity, but also the transparency. Everything's transparent, and a transparent world is going to make things a lot better for everyone. Just my personal opinion. Okay. All right, let's get into it. So my first moves when it came to investing in this stuff, and again, this was like January, maybe even in the February that I started pouring some money out of my checking account, my savings, into cryptocurrencies. And again, this is money that I could lose. This is money that I said to myself, if it goes poof, vanishes one day, I'm not going to be happy, but it's not going to affect me having to pay for rent or my car payment or anything like that. So just remember that. So a lot of people, when they get into this, they go crazy and they buy like 8 different types of cryptocurrencies, and they really hedge their bets. That's a strategy. That's a thing. But kind of what I decided to do, and I think this is probably the best strategy for newcomers, is to pick one, two, or three, probably three at the most, cryptocurrencies that you really believe in, and create pros and cons, reasons why you think they're going to be good investments, and write them down on paper. And that's kind of what I did. And the three I picked out were Ethereum, Dash, and Stratus. And I have the reasons listed here. I'm not going to go too much into them, but Ethereum, I really saw Ethereum as an upgrade from Bitcoin. It allowed you to do a lot more. It could do what Bitcoin could do and more with these complicated contracts. I won't go into the contracts, but uh, in layman's terms, it basically allows these contracts allows the computers to interact on their own. So let's say you want to get paid every week, but you don't want to have a HR person or a payroll company do it. You could just create an Ethereum contract that pays your employees every week, and it's an unbreakable contract, meaning no one can break it unless you have the proper keys or the proper identification to do so. And these can get super complicated. I mean, you can get to the point where you create contracts where you're taking out certain percentages to put into your 401k. And the cool thing about it is it's all done by computer. And the other thing Ethereum had and still has is an enormous community. I mean, if you look at their Reddit community and everything else, I think it might actually be bigger than Bitcoin's at this rate. Um, so that was a huge thing for me. Corporate interest, I'll go into that a little bit later. But there's a lot of corporate interest and the low price. Bitcoin was sitting around I think a little bit under $1,000, and Ethereum was sitting around $11 or $12. And what's more important is the market cap. The market cap is like a third or a fourth of Bitcoin. So yeah, I liked Ethereum. Dash, honestly, Amanda B. Johnson kind of turned me on the Dash, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily like her, but you got to give it to her. The branding and the marketing at Dash just pretty much destroys every other coin out there. They really know what they're doing. They blew the coin up, and they didn't blow it up in a bad way. It wasn't like a pump and dump because Dash is actually a great cryptocurrency. It's easy to use. It's quick. Again, that block time is super fast compared to Bitcoin. If you're not familiar with block time, basically it means how long it takes for a transaction to settle. That when all said and done, that's what it means. So if you walk in the Target and you want to pay in Bitcoin, it could take up to like 10 minutes for it to settle, maybe even longer with network congestion. With something like Dash, it'll take a few seconds and you just walk out the door like you paid with a credit card. So I think that's the future. If we're going to bring cryptocurrency to the mainstream, it's going to have to be quick, and Dash is super quick. I threw FUD in here too because if you frequent or used to frequent, I should say, the troll box at Poloniex, everybody hated Dash. They would say it's a scam coin. These master nodes, just basically it's a huge scam. And honestly, that made me want to buy Dash even more because I am someone who doesn't like to follow the crowd. I'm definitely a contrarian if it makes sense to be a contrarian in that specific time. And with Dash, it made sense. I mean, they had a great product. They still have a great product. And people just didn't like them because they were the new kid on the block. People really weren't familiar with masternodes, which is a thing you should definitely look into if you don't know about. And yeah, I had a feeling it was going to go to the moon because no one else was doing what they were doing at the current time. Dash Evolution was their kind of like what they were touting to be the end all be all of cryptocurrency, and I think it's due out by the end of this year. So that was something else to be excited for. The volume kept going up and up on this coin. And the price and the market, when I say price, I usually mean market cap because that's like the true price. Because a price, a coin could be $300, but the market cap could still only be like a couple $1,000,000. So the market cap is still kind of low on Dash, and I thought it had a lot of room to grow. That's Dash. Stratus. Stratus is an enterprise blockchain. I don't completely understand what they do, which is okay. I mean, not everybody understands exactly what all these coins do, but as long as you have an idea of what they do and kind of why they have an advantage over other coins, that's all that matters. So as I understand it, they're kind of like blockchain consultants, and they go out and they build these enterprise blockchains for different companies. Their tech stack they use is built in C sharp, which is different from a lot of other blockchains out there. Again, different. I like coins that are different. You bring something different to the table, you're going to get a different outcome, whether good or bad. But in this case, it was good. They had a good community. Their technology again was really good. The block time was shorter than Bitcoin, and the chart, which we're gonna get into, because that was an important thing to me. All right, so this is kind of another reason that I bought these coins, and if you look at these charts, you'll understand why. I like coins that have a steady upward trajectory, right? I'm not a big fan of coins that have shot up to $50 and then went down to $5 and then shot up again to $50 and back down. I mean, it could be a great coin, really could. It's just not for me personally. The reason I like charts that show steady upward trajectory is because it shows organic growth, it shows real growth. I'm sure there's some manipulation in all these coins, but I think the manipulation is minimal when you look at a chart like this. I mean, you can just see we're looking from basically the first of the year, and with the exception of this little this little bump right here, we have gone upward trajectory, slow and steady. I like that, slow and steady, right? Because that means to me that the community is slowly building its way up. More people are starting to notice the coin. More people are starting to use it. More exchanges are starting to bring it on as a coin, to the point where, it got so popular and it stopped growing gradually and it went hyperbolic. And that's a discussion for another time, but that's probably when you want to get out, when you see a coin like that going hyperbolic. Sorry, parabolic, not hyperbolic. So that's Dash's chart. We look at Strat, very similar. Look at this slow, just upward growth. And it really started, going up at the first of the year. And I think I probably jumped on sometime in April. That's when it started going up a little bit more. And again, you got that parabolic rise to the top and drop down. So if I were looking to buy this coin again, I would probably wait again for another slow and steady rise. I wouldn't go back into it right now unless there were some other fundamental things going on. Lastly, we look at Ethereum. I mean, same thing here. There were some parabolic moments where it rose up, but we'll get into this. Actually, I think a lot of this is because of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, basically the announcement of all these companies that worked with Ethereum, like JP Morgan and Bank of America, and people just went nuts and they started buying Ethereum. Just to kind of show you what isn't an upward steady trajectory, Potcoin, which if you guys don't know, it's basically a coin that has something to do with marijuana. I don't know exactly what it is because I don't invest in it, but I know that it's called pot for a reason. And in my mind, this isn't a slow and steady upward trajectory. I mean, this is bouncing up and down. Um, we come in here, and as we get close to 420, obviously it's going up, and then it shoots back down. And you could say towards the end here it's growing slow and steady, but to me it looks like a lot of manipulation, and just not just something I wouldn't invest in. All right, so after I bought those three coins, I held them for a little while. And keyword held, you don't necessarily want to be trading these things a lot unless you really know what you're doing, because they're going up in price. So there's really no reason to trade these things a lot. I mean, if you want to swap out your coins once every 2 or 3 weeks, I mean, that's totally cool. But if you're trading on a daily basis, I mean, you better know what you're doing. And there's really no reason for it because, as you can see from the graphs, these things are growing so quickly. So after I held those coins for a month or two, I made a calculated risk, and we'll talk more about this in my other videos. In order to make money in crypto or investing at all, you have to make calculated risks. And my calculated risks were to sell all of my existing crypto in Dash and Strat and some Bitcoin that I was holding too, and go 100% into Ethereum. I was balls to the wall into Ethereum. Excuse me. And there were a lot of reasons for that, but really what it came down to is I thought, and I still think, Ethereum is the next Bitcoin. It's got a strong community. They have over 69,000 subscribers over at the Reddit ETH which is kind of like their Ethereum trader people who like to comment and predict, what's going on with the price. And they also talk about the coin too and announcements. They've got strong and vocal leadership in this guy Vitalik Buterin. You've probably seen him. He looks like a genius, and he is a genius, and he is very vocal about what he plans to do, and he's very vocal too about why Ethereum is better than Bitcoin, and I love it. I think this guy is what you want behind something you're going to throw your money into. And also, in like an Elon Musk sort of way, I really think he's trying to make the world a better place. And he's kind of repeatedly said that, which makes investing in Ethereum a lot easier for someone like me who appreciates something like that. But besides all that, the technology behind Ethereum was really light years, still is light years ahead of Bitcoin. Faster block times, which means faster transaction times, and we talked about those complicated contracts that Ethereum can do, which Bitcoin might be able to do. They have something called Rootstock coming up, but it's as far as I've heard, they're kind of bootstrapping the whole thing. It's not really going to be as smooth as Ethereum has made it. And probably what was kind of like the icing on the cake for me was the EEA, which is basically the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. It's all these companies that want to get in the blockchain and they want to start using it for their business, and they made the decision to go with Ethereum. Not Bitcoin, not Dash, Ethereum. And as soon as I started seeing these articles popping up that JP Morgan was testing the Ethereum blockchain, I was in. I mean, how can you go wrong investing in something that all these big companies are starting to use? So, yep, I went 100% into Ethereum, and at the time after I did that, there was talk of this thing called the flippening, which basically means that people believe that the Bitcoin users and market cap is going to flip over to Ethereum. So at the time in May, Bitcoin had a $24 billion market cap. Ethereum had a $7 billion market cap. And Ethereum's price was around $77. Bitcoin's price is around 1,466. So if you did the math, Ethereum's price at 24 billion, which was the same market cap of Bitcoin, would be around $260. So kind of just doing the math in my head, I was looking at like at least a 3x profit from doing all this. And this is after I profited a bunch from it being invested in Dash and Stratus as well. So I went all in on ETH, and I think I got ETH probably before 77. I was originally in ETH around $11, and then I really loaded up, I think around like $50. So obviously it did really well, and I gotta say that's where the bulk of my profit came from. I owe it to ETH, but that's really the strategy here. It's to find a coin or coins that you really believe in and take that calculated risk and put your money in it. Put your money where your mouth is, and if you're right, then it feels really good, and you can start making YouTube videos like me and start bragging. No, I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. So these are rough results of how I did. This isn't exact, but basically you can see by June I turned $7,000 into around $90,000, give or take. I participated in a few initial coin offerings as well, so that number might be skewed a little bit. I also deposited $5,000 more into my account in April when I went ahead and I bought more Ethereum. So I started with 2,000, but then I added 5,000 more. So realistically, I made upwards of $80,000 or so. So yeah, it was definitely fun, and basically the conclusions we can sort of take from this. I already mentioned this. Holding 3 or 4 strong cryptocurrencies that you believe in with a lot of potential is going to beat trading any day of the week. We can talk about trading in a later video, but right now I think you're better off just holding coins. Pay attention to the markets every day. Become familiar with the top 25 coins and their price ranges. The reason I say that is when I got into cryptocurrency at the beginning of this year, I started memorizing the prices of these coins, not on purpose, but just out of nativity, because I started noticing when coins would jump, above what they usually traded at, or they were below it. And what we're going to talk about later in other videos is finding coins in price ranges, and seeing when they're below a price range or above it, and it can kind of give you trading signals as to when you should hop in a coin. Another thing to take from this video is to subscribe to not only me, but some other YouTubers out there who are going to be super helpful with all this stuff. And I've made a list of all of them. I'll tell you right now, the 2 or 3 that I frequent the most are going to be Crypto. Crypto is a really good guy, and he always has some great information. He's very much into Ethereum like myself, and he is just an honest person, and he's not in this just for the money. He's truly in this to make the world a better place. Some other guys who I frequent would be Aaron AG, Personally, I'm not big into technical analysis, but he's really good at it. And it seems to me like every technical analysis call he makes has been right. So if you're into that stuff and you want a short term trade or anything like that, check out Aaron and the guys over at Cryptocurrency Market. They're very knowledgeable too. So definitely some people to check out. So that's gonna end the video. Sorry if you guys thought I was gonna go into all the exact things I did to make a boatload of money off cryptocurrency, but to be honest with you guys, it wasn't that difficult. It was just finding coins that I liked, coins that had potential, and where I saw the price was very undervalued. And the good news is I'm going to start making predictions on my channel, and hopefully I want to repeat what I've done and bring it to everyone else. I'm gonna have a few cool things going on. I'm gonna have a coin of the week every week that I think is going to be great to profit from. Not at all related to that. We'll be doing an analysis of IOTA because that is a cryptocurrency that is a little interesting in an aspect that it doesn't use the generic blockchain. We'll also be talking about the fork of Bitcoin coming up on August 1st because that's probably the biggest thing going on in crypto right now. And then we're also going to talk about some trading strategies. When I say trading, I don't mean like day trading. I mean like trading once a week or once a month and profiting from trading within pricing ranges or channels. Just some things I've learned along the way. So hey, hope you guys like the video. I'll kind of set your expectations here. I'm probably going to upload 1 or 2 videos a week, but I'm going to go for quality over quantity. If I get more subscribers and more likes, then I can make it a daily thing, do some daily news. Just let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks and have a good day.